Hello, Luigi Trontana here from Craft Animations. I'm going to show you the crawler extended here, right there. It's a vehicle, of course, and usually you use this to create tank animations, but it's also very good when you create boat animations, and I will show you that in 3ds Max later on, and it's a very good tool for that, I would say, for many reasons. And the main reason for that is that it shoots rays here at the side when you tell it to do that. So it's not only these wheels that actually creates a suspension system that this reacts on when it comes to the ground. But if we want to drive over this kind of thing, then we need rays in the middle here if we have extra wheels along this side here. And to get acquainted with the workflow and everything, which I will not bring up here, you have to go to the four-wheeler extended tutorial. You will have a thorough, it goes thoroughly into those subjects. And if you want to see this node here, which is called the external force, I can just show it here quickly. We have, if I bind it to my Logitech gamepad here, then we have the external force here. Now, usually this would be a virtual input created by, for example, the firepower plugin, and the firepower will then create these inputs for the external force to create the recoil needed here when you have a turret or a gun or something on top of this tank, if it's a tank. But for that you need to go to the firepower tutorial to find out how that works. I'm just going to show you here. It was button 2, so this is the recoil that you can get on this crawler. And of course if I rotate it, it changes direction here. So like that, and that was the booster, and I haven't bound it to the ground yet, so let's like that, so I get different kinds of forces if I want to. Now I'm not going to do anything more on that. I'm just going to show you, as usual, you take this gravity direction mesh and you make it a child of this surface that you want to drive on. So I hit P here to make it a parent, and then what we do here is we just hit record and see what happens when we drive over this edge here. I'm driving and we come here and look at this now. When I come to the middle here, this is exactly like a car would behave. So this is not interesting because for that you can actually use the car, except for the fact that the crawler tracks will move around its pivot like a tank does, but a tank would never look like this when it crosses the edge here. So let's move over here and stop it there, and open up the configuration dialog here and go into the raycast parameters. That's the secret here, and whenever the ray multiplier is 1, then it just ignores these parameters here. So even if it says number of side rays 10, it doesn't matter, because this is the fastest way to calculate the interaction with the ground here. And if I increase this one to 2, then this becomes active, and 10 side rays now. That means simply that it casts on both sides here. It will add 10 rays here, 10 suspensions actually it will add here between these wheels, and that's what this 10 means. So 10 on this side and 10 on that side, and that's why it's a very good boat animation tool. So if we have that one and drive over this edge here, look at the difference now. We come here and then it does not, because it has suspensions that pushes it upwards in the middle also. So that's a very, very important addition to this, what these 10 rays do. So what you usually do here, now this Camtasia is doing this thing here. It runs very, very fast usually. So this is all Camtasia. And what you usually do here is that you create all your animation with a ray multiplier of 1, and then you re-simulate it with an increased ray multiplier. So that's a very nice workflow you can do here. And with that said, I am actually going to leave Maya and go into 3ds Max to show you how it looks like there in the more advanced scene. Right, so here we have a tank. This is by Perspex X, and this is a pre-rigged model meaning PerspectX. We have rigged a lot of models for PerspectX, so that's stuff that is actually pre-rigged for you if you don't have time to rig them. Anyway, so here we clearly see that we have these wheels that they have their own suspension system, so they push these crawler tracks downwards, which obviously means that they will push the whole tank upwards when they go over a hill, a hill or some other bump. So that here we would really need the crawler, and the crawler is also excellent when it comes to how it looks like when you use a tank. So I'll just hide these high polys here. Well, that's the Mayas actually. This, and just get the low polys up here. So here we have the bone system for this whole tank here, and let's just drive with it so you can see how natural it looks. I will not animate the tracks here. Well, I can do that too actually, like this, and just drive it. And as you see here, this looks very much like a tank when it moves, because this is how tanks move. So this is the perfect tool for animating a tank, and I'm just steering it here, coming into stopping right there. Okay, that, and now the next thing I want to show you here is that if we want to use the crawler tracks as a boat, well, then let's actually bring forth this. So I will actually hide the crawler tracks here, because they can't drive on a dynamic mesh because it locks the mesh. And there's one thing you need to do before you can even drive on a dynamic mesh. And in Maya, for example, if you use the fluid simulation there to create waves, then you need to transfer that mesh to an ordinary mesh, and there is a very good script that takes care of that you can find in our forum made by C2I, Juris Mangolds, and use that one if you want to drive these things on dynamic meshes. But you still need to do this. Go into the preferences here and check this checkbox there. Very, very important, otherwise it won't work. So I take this and I put on a noise controller here, for example. Noise, there we go. Now that because we are in the fast section of it, like this. Now we have a really violent C here that this crawler tracks will drive on, and just hit record here and see what happens. Boom, jumps down to it here, and the first thing we can notice here is that the suspension is very far from being boat-like. So we need to change the suspension of the crawler here, which we do right here, and let's make it really loose. I'll make it 1/10 of the ordinary, like that, and the forward tilting angle should also be changed so that it doesn't disturb us anymore, so I will set that to 1, like that, and 1 there too. So now we can never reach the end. This is very important to have if you have ordinary suspension, because then you have end points to which it can't be moved. Now there we go again. Now we have a totally different suspension on the crawler tracks here. You see it's much more boat-like now. Yeah, so this is quite fun actually. We could hide the dummy bogies here and drive wheels like that, and then we would have a boat here that reacts to this wave emotions here. So that's how you would create a boat. And if you want it to react even more with the side rays here, then we just increase those to, say, put a 2 there. And now we'll have a really good boat system here. Okay, so that's all I'm going to show you about the crawler tracks, and all the other information you will find on the other vehicles, the workflow and everything. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Bye bye.